Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, timekeeper, co-debaters, and my esteemed audience. I am Osintania and I am a representative of Shining Star College, and I stand before you today to oppose the motion which says that Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Before going on, let me define these terms: oil exploration and renewable energy. Oil exploration is the process of searching for oil using underground and underwater means, using geological surveys and seismic techniques, while renewable energy are forms of energy gotten from natural sources and are constantly replenished by the earth, which includes solar energy, wind energy, biomass, and the likes. Well, oil has been a major backbone in Nigerian economy because according to reports from Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the National Bureau of Statistics, over 88.6% of total export earnings come from oil and gas export earnings, and the petroleum industry contributes over 52% to the federal government's total revenue. With a country that has a debt pile of over 107 trillion naira debt and over 37% youth unemployment, can you really afford to discard its major economic pillar? Well, it's a no. But even with Nigeria's unsteady power generation, with other countries like South Africa generating over 48,000 megawatts of electricity, Nigeria still hovers around 4,200 megawatts of electricity. This is indeed poor for a country, and with even financial strains on maintaining renewable energy, such as the cost of setting up 1 megawatt of solar energy requires up to $850,000 to $1.4 million. Can Nigeria really have the capability to transition to renewable energy to power our homes, even when our present national grid cannot power our schools, our businesses, and our homes? Well, according to the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, over 400,000 jobs are provided to people directly, and 2.5 million jobs provided indirectly to individuals through services and logistics and catering. And if the oil exploration sector is dissolved, what will become of these individuals and their families? Can the renewable energy sector, which employs currently less than 5% of this number, be able to absorb this workforce? Well, the answer is no. Even developed countries like USA, they produce more than 12.5 million barrels of oil per day, and even countries like Germany, one of the balanced renewable economies, still consume more than 2.2 million barrels of oil per year. And even countries like Saudi Arabia earn more than $170 billion per year from the sale of crude oil. Why would Nigeria, a developing country with a weak economic foundation, try to make this disastrous step to discard its own precious resource? Well, in truth, oil and renewable energy can and must coexist, but this can be done by Nigeria investing its $33 billion oil revenue into renewable energy projects, such as investing in solar and hydropower investments. This can be done effectively and strategically without Nigeria jeopardizing its presence for an uncertain future. In conclusion, oil exploration should still be continuing even till this day, as the proceeds gotten from it can make a greener future for us all without making our present degradable and breaking down the system that sustains millions today. Thank you.
So that means
Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Treasure Ozioma and I'm a representative of Shining Star College, Kubwa Abuja. I rise to speak against the motion that Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. While we agree that renewable energy is crucial for the future, it is neither practical nor wise for Nigeria to abandon oil exploration at this point in our national development. The opposing side may argue that oil exploration is environmentally harmful. While that is true to some extent, the real problem lies not in oil itself, but in weak enforcement and regulation. Instead of halting oil exploration, Nigeria should enforce environmental laws and invest in technologies that reduce oil's ecological footprint. You do not burn down your house simply because your roof is leaking, do you? No, you fix the leak. Secondly, they may claim that the world is moving away from fossil fuels. Yes, global energy trends are shifting, but the reality is, oil is and will remain a strategic and economic lifeline. Nigeria earns over 85% of its foreign exchange from oil. To stop oil exploration now would be like cutting off our oxygen supply whilst searching for an inhaler. We must transition, yes, but not at the expense of our economic survival. The proposal might point out that renewable energy is sustainable, but can sustainability alone work without reliability and infrastructure? Our current national grid barely powers homes consistently, let alone support large industries. Solar and wind are intermittent and require huge investments, which ironically can be funded by oil revenues. Let us use oil to fund the transition and not the
Good day, impartial panel of judges and my esteemed viewers. Representing Government Girls Science Secondary School, I, Okam Esther, as the chief speaker from the opposing side, stands before you to argue strongly on the motion that says Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's face reality. We all know that oil is the backbone of Nigeria's economy. From time immemorial, Nigeria has explored and used oil to the best of its ability. Over 90% of our foreign exchange earnings and a significant amount of about 70% of our national income revenue comes from the oil sector. To say we throw away oil revenue is like asking a man to throw away his only source of income without a solid alternative. Besides, if we stop the oil revenue, what do we replace that sector with? Renewables? I doubt. Moving on, oil revenue provides millions of jobs directly or indirectly, from local constructors to engineers, marketers, geologists, most especially drivers and security workers rely solely on this particular sector. In fact, countless families depend on this sector. Therefore, stopping oil exploration will not only lead to massive job loss, but will also increase poverty and destabilize our already fragile economy. Listen, I know my opponents may say that renewable energies are the futures and that we must invest in it, correct? But if you permit me, let's be realistic. Even global powers like the United States, Germany, China, some European and Asian countries still solely rely, explore and use oil. Why then should Nigeria, a developing country and one who have oil in surplus, suddenly throw away its major economic driver and give it up prematurely? Moreover, renewable energy technologies like solar panel, wind turbines, and hydro systems require high capital investment, a stable government policy, and a maintenance structure which Nigeria is yet to fully develop. Besides all these necessities that this technology needs to function properly, they are way expensive. If you permit me, my honorable panel, to ask a question, can an average Nigerian man, under the influence and pressure of our present economic imbalance, be able to install a proper solar panel? I doubt that, my lord, because they are way expensive and they also require foreign expertise, which Nigeria is yet to get. In fact, rural areas still struggle to maintain balanced power supply, not to talk of the infrastructure to support renewable energy. I mean, a country cannot throw away what it has before securing what it wants. If you ask me, I would say Nigeria should continue to explore oil till we get to a better height, then gradually transit to renewables, because stopping oil exploration now will only lead to hardship, economic collapse, and national instability. I rest my case.
Standing on the already existing protocols, I go by the name of Betche Diamond, and I'm here to oppose the motion which says that Nigeria should not stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. The debate on whether Nigeria should shift its focus from oil exploration to renewable energy is multifaceted, involving economic, environmental, and social consideration. Here is the balanced exploration for this proposition. Economic dependency. Nigeria economy is heavily reliant on oil revenues. An abrupt halt to oil exploration could disrupt these sectors. Energy demand. Oil remains a primary energy source to many Nigerians, particularly for transportation and industrial uses. A rapid transition into renewable energy could disrupt these sectors. Employment and skills. Oil industry employs thousands of Nigerians, indirectly and directly. A rapid transition into renewable energy could cause job losses. In addition, oil exploration is usually carried out by oil industries using advanced technologies such as drilling and logical technologies, geophysical and geological technologies, which can help in the production of oil to serve as many Nigerians that need oil. In conclusion, oil exploration has a goal to discover new oil and gas reserves, which can help meet the global existing demand. I hope with these few points of ours, we have been able to make you see reasons why Nigeria should not stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Thank you.
Hello, judges and my esteemed viewers. My name is Ibia Precious, and I'm presenting Government Girls Science Secondary School, Kuje. I'm here to support the motion which says Nigeria should not stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. To start with, Nigeria's economy of today is highly dependent on oil prices, which account for around 95% of government revenue, 65% of foreign exchange, and 95% of exchange earnings in the country. Furthermore, the infrastructure for export earnings and production is already in place. Transitioning to renewable energy requires substantial upfront and investment in new technologies. Moreover, renewable energy is expensive and hard to maintain. Take, for instance, Nigeria passed a budget of 10 billion naira just for the installation of solar in the presidential villa. If you ask me, isn't that preposterous? Shouldn't that amount of money be used for the growth and development of this great country? I know my opponent might say that with the discontinuation of oil exploration and much more focus on renewable energy, Nigeria stands a risk of being exploited and deprived by other white and South African countries who may want to tap from the wealth and revenue this exploration may bring about. But let me tell you, if Nigeria will stop partaking in oil exploration, there will be a high level of crime and unemployment in the country. I rest my case.
Under the wings of everything that we've said, I hope we've been able to shed more light on reasons why Nigeria should not stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. If at all we are to stop oil exploration, let us do it gradually and not suddenly. Let's continue to diversify our economy and explore other opportunities that we have with oil exploration. Thanks for watching.